Hi Capricorn, welcome to my channel. This is going to be your general love reading from the 6th of August until the 21st. Thank you so much for all of your patience. I know that this is, I know it's late, but thank you so much for all of the patience and understanding from everybody that's been coming in. So I really, truly appreciate it. You'll have to forgive my Fraggle Rock hair. Some of you are too young to know what that is, but those of you who aren't too young to know what that is, forget it. So, if you'd like a personal reading, in the description box below we'll have my email and then the cost of the readings. And thank you so much for everybody who has requested readings. Thank you for your likes and shares and subscribes and your comments. I love to hear the comments, and I do really try to interact with everybody, so thank you so much for all of that. The personal readings, they're about 3 to 4 days out right now, just because this weekend, like I said, has been, it went differently than I had planned, and it's been more emotional than I had planned, so I thought I was prepared for it, but I wasn't. However, I will be getting to those as quickly as humanly possible, especially now with now that I'm here, much more time by myself, so I'll be able to get those done for you. And then if this reading doesn't resonate with you, please be sure to check your moon and rising sign, and then also your Venus sign and the other person's Mars sign. The moon sign is kind of, it's more along the lines of the inner you. The rising sign is like the game face that you wear for the world. The Venus sign is, again, how you are in love, and then the Mars sign is the Mars sign of the other person. That tells you what attracts you, or attracts them, the types of qualities that draw them in. So I found it useful to be able to watch those two. Your Mars sign is what would draw you to another person as well, so vice versa there. So I'm going to go ahead and jump into this. I've got the cards all laid out here. The first card that I came up with for you, Capricorn, is the Page of Pentacles. It's definitely your energy. This page is much more mature and dependable than his counterparts of the same age. So the other pages in the suit. However, with this page, sometimes this page can get so singularly focused on something, it's almost to the point of obsession. Like, they're so focused, they have so much tunnel vision that everything else gets clouded, and they can kind of shut out what's going on around them. So I feel like this page is representing somebody who has been working very tirelessly toward a goal, and it's been almost consuming. It's working very hard and moving very, very confidently toward a specific goal, most likely to do with money or career, just because it's a pentacle, but it could be other goals. However, it is to bring in stability, it is to bring in a strong foundation, and it's a long-term goal. So this isn't some flighty little, I'm going to be a rock star and the next week I'm going to be a karate master or whatever it is. It's a long-term goal. So if it is I'm going to be a rock star, it's I'm going to be a rock star, and that's your sole focus. That's the drive, for you. So that's what this page represents. The next card that I pulled is the Seven of Pentacles. So this card represents to me it's a harvest that wasn't quite what you expected, or not quite as good as you expected it to be. So it's along the lines of some kind of, there may have been an expectation about something, there may have been, and it could be something that you weren't even aware that you had an expectation for until you saw the outcome, and it was kind of lackluster, or less than you expected, or less than you realized that you expected. So this is, there's still a harvest. He's still able to take these pentacles down off this tree, but it's not the harvest that he was expecting. He was expecting something a bit more, a little bit muchier. So I feel like that's what this card is indicating. It could be that you're driving so hard toward this goal because you may have thought you were making progress with the goal originally, and it didn't turn out as you expected, or something wasn't as you had thought it would be, and so this drive could take over after that point because you really, really want to get this to fruition. So if it's along the lines of furthering career, if it's along the lines of financial stability, things like that, it's a very driven type of energy towards something. The next card that I pulled for you is the Empress. This can represent fertility, so it could be that there could be a pregnancy in the mix, or somebody who is trying to conceive, or somebody who has recently conceived. But she is also the creator of the tarot. So she's like the mother. She is the one who's there to remind you, to comfort you. It's going to be okay. Everything's going to be okay. We have what we need to be all right. And I think it's a very calming it's a peacekeeping type of energy. It's very calming. It's very, for those who have a very good relationship with their mother, they're fond memories of when you're a child and she held you in her arms and you just felt safe. So the Empress definitely represents that kind of a feeling, this feeling of safety and security, and that mama's here and it's going to be okay, that kind of a thing. Sorry if I get a little emotional. With my son leaving this weekend, it's difficult to talk about. Of course she would pop up in this reading. I don't mean to get emotional on you, but mommy's here and he's not here, and so that just breaks my heart a little bit. Anywho, but this is definitely a card that is very comforting and peaceful and harmonious. So I feel like after all of this drive and this intense energy, there is some nourishment that you need. You do need some gentleness, some comfort, some a nurturing type of energy around you. So I feel like that's going to be coming in for a lot of you. There's going to be this kind of comfort coming. It doesn't necessarily, yes, she does represent a very feminine energy, but it doesn't necessarily need to come from a female. For a lot of you it may, or for a lot of you this could be you in this position, and maybe there's another earth sign around that perhaps is in the picture who needs that kind of comforting energy. We know that too with Capricorn, because financial security and stability is important. This is definitely your energy, but this could be the energy that people around you are adopting as well, because that's very strong from you. And so this could be somebody in your circle too who is solely focused, or it could be your partner who is maybe super focused on something. But just the indication with this Empress card as well is to try and balance out that, because it can be, like I said, if it becomes tunnel vision, you can shut out all of the other good things that are going on around you that can help comfort your spirit and rebuild your strength to move toward these goals. So I feel like it's kind of an indication for some of you to make sure to avoid the tunnel vision or the soul focus so that is so strong that it's consuming, because you'll want to be able to gain strength from those around you in order to achieve your goal. So I feel like that could be indicating to you too, to make sure that you're aware of that. And some of you, it's straight up telling you to call your mom. Like for some of you, it's just telling you call your mom. So if you haven't called your mom in a while, call your mom. The next card that I pulled for you is the Queen of Cups. So there's a lot of very soothing, calming, loving energy during this time for you, which is beautiful. I love to see that. The Queen of Cups, again, is a very harmonious type of a card. It's somebody who is very loving, comforting, kind of a homebody during this period, definitely wants to be home with a partner or focusing on romance. She can be passionate. And again, with this Queen of Cups right by the Empress, some of you could conceive or there is a pregnancy in the picture as well. But this Queen of Cups does also represent messages of love coming in. So it could be that they're in, you'll have to forgive me because I just have to say it since I thought it, but the Empress can also represent an older female energy. And this doesn't have to be a huge age difference. I mean, she can be younger and just super mature, but this represents an older female energy. So for some of you, there may be a water sign in the picture. The Empress can represent Pisces. And then there's water energy here, of course. So for some of you, it may be an older partner coming in with messages of love, or somebody who is more mature, like not more mature, but a higher level of maturity than many of their peers. So that could be that person coming in bringing messages of love. But I feel like this is going to be a very loving, soul comforting time, which makes sense after this drive, this focus, that all of this energy that's going into this direction, and perhaps having a disappointment about the outcome, or thinking, I thought this was going to be a completely different outcome than it was, and I didn't realize what my expectations were, and then it kind of fell short of the expectations I wasn't even aware that I had. So with that kind of a feeling, there is this need for nurturing and comfort. There is this need for rebuilding your emotional stores, because that disappointment can be very heavy. The next card that I have directly under the Seven of Pentacles is the Star card. The Star card for me in this situation, yes, she represents healing, she represents balance, she represents somebody who is very focused on bringing themselves back into their truth, into a point where they're not emotionally hysterical, they're not over-analyzing everything, they're very balanced between the mind and the heart. So this definitely represents a card of healing, which if there was a heavy disappointment and this nurturing has been going on, then the healing would start to take place, so that makes sense. But this also represents inspiration. This big star that's up here above her head, it represents a new idea, a new inspiration. It's a spark of maybe tweaking things a little bit to renew your confidence. To, if there was a disappointment, especially here, the confidence gets renewed. There's a new idea, a new way of looking at things. She can unveil things that maybe weren't in your original plan, that will help tweak things, and that begins healing as well, because now you have a renewed energy to go after it again. And so I feel like that's a very positive type of energy coming in for you here. The next card that I have is the High Priestess, and just like the Star here, she's very intuitive card. She's very there's a very spiritual essence to these two cards, especially next to each other, because it's definitely telling you to that's where you need to go. You need to go to, it's beyond something your mind and heart can take care of for you. You need to go beyond those to your higher self, or to your higher power, whatever it is that you believe in. That is where you're retreating to, because you need to get back to your fundamental truth, not just the beliefs that we have, and not just the characteristics that we embody, day to day, but who you are at your very, very core, if you were to strip it all down. And you'll see that with the Star too, she's completely stripped. I mean, she's naked, so she's completely stripped bare. So there's nothing to hide. There's, this is you at your most vulnerable, needing to heal. So, and healing doesn't necessarily need to happen after a huge upset either. We need to constantly be healing ourselves just from the energies that are around us every single day. So I feel like this could just be a reminder to take it a little bit easy during this period, to maybe just chill. And you work your ass off, and you'll work your ass off next week too, so it's okay to take a little bit of a break. I feel like the Star for some of you is saying, it's that extra reminder that you might need to slow down. If you're pushing too hard and it's maybe going great on one aspect of your life, but the rest of the aspects are suffering. So if your career is going great, or your money's going great, or your relationship is going great, whatever those things are that is going great, yes, you've been focusing on those very, very much from what I'm getting from the Page of Pentacles. So I feel like it's reminding you to pay attention to other aspects of your life, and the one that it's indicating to me specifically here is the aspect of you, taking care of you, making sure that you're getting enough rest, that you're eating properly, that you are taking care of your body. That's definitely one of those attributes that I pick up from the Star card too. So along with the High Priestess, and the High Priestess in this position, I really feel like she, after the Star and the inspiration that may come for some of you, she can reveal secret knowledge, things that perhaps if she chose not to reveal them, you would have never recognized. It would have never clicked for you that way. So I feel like with the Star and this inspiration that comes, I feel like the High Priestess is going to be heightening that inspiration to expound upon it a little bit. If it's along the lines of a relationship, it could be that the Star gives you that spark of the idea of how you might be able to do things differently, or maybe you need to apologize to someone, or maybe you need to reach out an olive branch or something along those lines, where whatever it is that would click in your head that you need to do. And for some of you, it could be that you need to not respond, or you need to create some distance as well, because the High Priestess also is one who, kind of like the Hermit, she will retreat into herself as well. She's the one who asks you, she says to you basically, you already know the answer to this question, so why are you asking the question? You know the answer, stop asking the question. So she's also one of those who she doesn't necessarily, she kind of speaks in riddles, I guess you could say. She doesn't necessarily hand you the answer. She wants you to find the answer, but she is the confirmation that the answer is already there. You already know what it is. And I feel like with the star, whatever it is that's going to be popping into your head, Capricorn, I really feel like you're going to recognize, oh, that was what it was. That's the inspiration right there. And she's going to help reveal to you through your own thoughts, the things that you already know, what it is that needs to be done. And I feel like it'll be pretty powerful when it happens for those of you who it happens to, because it's one of those things where it's like, I can't get it out of my head now. Once it's there, once it pops in my head, it's like I'm responsible for it at that point. So I'm not going to be able to get it out of my head until I follow what this intuition is telling me to do. So that, I feel like, for a lot of you is what is going to be going on, which is actually really awesome. It could be, again, that you may need to retreat. You may need to back off and distance yourself a little bit, be alone for a little while during that period, because you could be trying to listen to yourself. It can be very difficult when other people are around saying certain things or trying to talk you through something when you really don't need to be talked through it. You just need to be able to have that, heart to heart with yourself a little bit. So I feel like there may be some of you retreating during that time, but it's not a negative retreat. It's not it could be something that's very helpful to the relationship as well, because once you are able to come back from that energy, I feel like it's like double the confidence, double the drive, double, everything comes back stronger. So for those of you who are feeling a little worn down or maybe disappointed from something, I really feel like that's going to turn around in the next little bit here. So let's clarify some of this. Please clarify the Page of Pentacles here for Capricorn for August 6th through the 21st for love. What is this Page of Pentacles about? Please clarify this Page of Pentacles for Capricorn, August 6th through the 21st, 2017 for love. What is this Page of Pentacles about? Okay, so the Page of Pentacles is clarified by the Eight of Pentacles. So again, this is definitely it's a driven, studious type of energy. It's something where you're learning more, you're researching things, you're really focusing a lot of brain power and a lot of your physical energy toward whatever this is that you're pursuing. You're trying to learn more about it, maybe reading things up on it, maybe watching videos or something. I mean, anything along those lines. But this is also a teacher and apprentice card. So, and for I know I'm a big Star Wars, well, not me. I'm a big Star Wars nerd because I grew up with a bunch of Star Wars nerds. So I know more about Star Wars than anybody who is in my position probably should. So every time I see this card, I just think about the Jedi and the Padawan. There's always a master and an apprentice. That's how I feel with this card, that there's somebody, either you are the mentor and they are the student, or you are the student and they are the mentor. And again, that does kind of fit in with those of you who are maybe dealing with a partner where there's a little bit of an age difference. That could be it too. One person may have the role of the teacher and the other the role of the student a little bit. But I definitely feel like with this page, who is very, very, like I said, focused and driven energy toward a long-term goal, this Eight of Pentacles also represents that same type of energy, where this is a long-term goal that you really feel you need to learn as much as you possibly can about. So therefore, it takes up time. And Pentacles, to me, represent time, because that's the day-to-day. It's the little things that add up over time. And so the Pentacles here can also represent this recognition of needing to make time for everybody and everything in your life. And you could be trying to learn how to balance that too. But I do feel like it can represent either or, have to do with finances, have to do with material stability, but it also has to do with the day-to-day things that need to be taken care of every single day, that may not be as exciting and they're a little bit mundane, but they're for the greater good. They are necessary for the ultimate goal. let's go ahead and take a look at this Seven of Pentacles. Please clarify this Seven of Pentacles for Capricorn for August 6th through the 21st, 2017. What is this Seven of Pentacles about? Whoop! Throwing my cards around. I'm going to do that again because not any particular one of them jumped out a little. Please clarify the Seven of Pentacles for a sign of Capricorn, August 6th through the 21st, 2017. What is the Seven of Pentacles here for? We'll take that. Okay, so on top of the Seven of Pentacles is the Two of Cups. So again, with the Seven of Pentacles, again, I feel like that's a harvest that was, something was different than what was expected. And because it's kind of an unstable card, or a card that it's a tenacity card, like you need to keep, you need to keep moving through this. It's kind of like this too shall pass. So being clarified by the Two of Cups there, I feel like for a lot of you, something has maybe popped up in the relationship, or conflicts have come that, like, wait a second, this wasn't what I expected for this really strong bond, the love that we share together, and now, you know, this was not what I expected. Why is this going on? Why is this happening? So this is kind of the feeling that I get with this Two of Cups. Again, you could be dealing with a water sign or another earth sign here. I mean, it can be any sign. They might just be embodying this energy. But with this Two of Cups, it represents to me a loving and harmonious relationship. But there's something going on in this relationship where maybe it appeared loving and harmonious, and now there's something off about it, or it's maybe not harmonious, and that's not what you expected. It's kind of something along those lines where, to me, this indicates that the harvest, this bond, this almost, it's like a soulmate connection for a lot of you, not necessarily all of you, but it is a very strong bond here. So I feel like there's something going on that this isn't what you expected. Something about the situation, maybe something has popped up, or maybe there's been a feeling of general instability, and that's not what you expected, because you know that the bond is stronger than whatever it is that you're dealing with right now. But you might be kind of surprised with maybe how your partner is handling some things, or your partner could be surprised with how you're handling things, and there's a little bit of discontentment there, perhaps. That's what this would mean to me, clarifying the Seven of Pentacles here. So let's check out the Empress. Please clarify this Empress card for Capricorn from August 6th to the 21st, 2017 for love. What is this Empress card about here? Please show me what the Empress card is about. Okay, so the Empress is clarified by the Eight of Cups. And the Eight of Cups is a card that indicates releasing things that are no longer serving you, or releasing ways of doing things or behavior that's no longer serving you. In this particular position, on top of the Empress, because she is the creator, I, again, along with the Star card, feel like there's going to be some inspiration coming in, or maybe a new way of thinking about things that is going to have you turning your back on something that perhaps you've invested in. It's with the Eight of Cups, it's not turning your back easily on something. It's turning your back with sorrow. It's turning your back on something that you had invested in emotionally, and because it's no longer serving your purpose. So for a lot of you, I feel like this could have to do with whatever this that you're driving toward with the Pentacles, whatever this goal is, or whatever these long-term goals are, or singular focuses that you've been maybe having some tunnel vision about. Whatever that is, I feel like you're going to need to tweak something, or change something about it, or change your way of thinking about it in a way that is going to be kind of difficult for you, because you're used to seeing it and thinking of it in one way, and so it's kind of difficult to shift that, or it might be a little emotionally uncomfortable to change the way you're thinking about it. It could be for a lot of you who maybe have been very focused on conceiving too. It may be that you decide that you're gonna give up trying to do that for a little while, or maybe you need to change the way that you're focusing on it. And I only say that just because with this Empress card here and the Queen of Cups, I do feel like there's a lot of you who maybe are trying to conceive or will be conceiving. But this Eight of Cups on top of that is indicating to me that something about that is going to is going to need to be tweaked in a way that's a little bit emotionally uncomfortable. So for those of you who maybe have been trying really hard, you may decide to take a break and to step away from that for a while. And in a situation where where she is the creator rather than, you know, anybody conceiving, but if she is the creator of this idea, I feel like it's going to be something that you have to change the idea in a way that's not very easy for you to think about doing it, or you may need to even ask for help from somebody that you really don't want to ask for help from. For some reason, that comes in too when I think about that, when I think about the Eight of Cups on top of that. But I also feel like it could be when the Eight of Cups pops up, it's since whatever it is that you turn your attention away from no longer serves you. I believe that for a lot of you, it will be a recognition of something that is no longer serving. And so it could be that some of you decide to end a relationship. It could be that some of you, but it's ending on top of creation. So I do feel like it could be a new beginning as well, because you're just changing the way that you've been doing things or changing the way that you've been seeing things. So for some of you, you may be stepping away from a relationship entirely, but for a lot of you, I get the idea that it's going to be altering the way things have been going. And that may have, since this Eight of Cups is on top of this Empress, I also feel like that does connect with this Page of Pentacles and the Seven of Pentacles, that has been this very, very focused energy. And perhaps it was a focused energy on building something long-term with a partner or something along those lines. But because it hasn't gone the way that you wanted it to go, this Eight of Cups indicates to me on top of this Empress that an idea or a new way of thinking will pop into your mind, and it'll take some work from you to be able to adopt this new way of thinking, but you'll see positive results because of that. So I also feel like that has to do with maybe you're going to have to force yourself to tear your attention away from either work or pursuing a goal or, you know, something that is important to you long term, to focus on a relationship, because maybe you're recognizing that, okay, it's not serving my end goal to be so focused on my work or my money right now, because this relationship is suffering because of it. So maybe I need to turn my attention back to the relationship. So I feel like for a lot of you, that's what it's saying too. And that it's an Eight of Cups, because that's not necessarily easy for you to do. Your mind might still jump back between the two, you know, feeling like you should be focusing more on work, but you're taking your time and kind of forcing yourself in this position to focus on the relationship because ultimately that is what is important to you. It's just hard, you know, because it's day to day. It's hard to see that when you're neglecting other day-to-day things or feeling like you're neglecting them, even though it's just you've just flip-flopped your priorities right now. So I feel like that is what the Eight of Cups is indicating for a lot of you. Please clarify this Queen of Cups for Capricorn for August 6th through the 21st, 2017. What is this? Eight of Cups. Sorry, Queen of Cups for. Please clarify the Queen of Cups. Please clarify this Queen of Cups for Capricorn for August 6th through the 21st for love. What is this Queen of Cups about? Okay, the Queen of Cups. Okay, yeah, the Queen of Cups is clarified by the Knight of Swords. So again, going with that idea that a lot of you will be taking your attention maybe intentionally away from work to focus more on your relationships because you're recognizing that that needs to happen. I feel like a lot of you will be coming in. This is on top of this Queen of Cups. This Knight of Swords comes in. He comes in hot. He comes in to sweep somebody off their feet. He comes in real strong. It could be that you're refocusing that energy, recognizing that you need to either chase someone down and give them your feelings and tell them how you really feel and what your real emotions are. It's you, this energy, and you could be dealing with an air sign too who could be coming into you. But it's one of these parties is recognizing that I better do something, and I better do something now if I want this to work out. If I want to be with this person, I better do something now. It's kind of it's one of those energies that's like, screw it, I'm going for it, you know, kind of an energy. And it's on top of this Queen of Cups, so I feel like that's somebody who listens the Empress could be sparking that idea in your mind, and you're listening to Mom, who Mama knows best, you're listening to that inspiration or that idea and recognizing, I better do something. And this Knight of Swords can be kind of reckless too. So like I said, it could be that kind of like, you're sitting there thinking about it and just go, screw it, I just have to